Yo, too fast. All right, ready? Yeah, shit.
Yeah, chill out, bro.
All right, all right. 5, 4.
I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too.
First, let me make this clear. It's DNS Soldier.
And that's Robby Too Fast, and thank you for tuning in to the Two Sides of the Heart podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We are your hosts. We're the CEOs, you feel me? Top dog, big honcho, you feel me? Row. Today, man, we got 2 interesting topics for y'all and a couple of the Am I the Assholes? Or, as we like to call it, Am I Open-Minded? All right? So, first of all, how you doing, bro?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I got a little cough, but besides the cough, bro, cool.
You feel me? All right, yeah, that's cool. I'm all right. I
How
feel
you
like
doing, bro?
I got my 7 hours a day.
What you mean?
Asleep.
For real?
Yeah.
Hey.
I want to sleep like 5 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I woke up like 12. He's like, you up? Nah. Nah, bro. Nah, I'm not. And I got up, got me a little food, got me this do-rag, let my little ripples down, you feel me? Keep it pushing. And they're not waves yet, they ripples, they ridges. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, we're going to hop right into the topic. So, first topic we got is, what do you consider cheating?
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like personally, like, there's no full correct answer to that. Because I feel like that kind of depends on the relationship you're in and the boundaries that y'all set and stuff like that. But for me, I ain't gonna lie. You don't gotta do too much to cross that line for me. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, we're not even gonna talk about, like, the obvious shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, let's talk about it, though, because it may not be that obvious.
First of all, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If someone go, fuck someone else, and you don't consider that as cheating, unless you're in an open relationship.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah. But, obviously, stepping out, I don't care if it was a kiss, you know what I mean? A light peck, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, bro, any type, like, intimacy for real, that's like...
Physical?
Yeah, but there's also cheating emotionally as well.
That's what I was alluding to.
I ain't gonna lie, there's also emotionally as well. So, but like sticking on the physical part right now, like, yeah, honestly, anything that involves like intimacy for real, if you're having like intimacy with another person, I would probably consider that cheating.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, bro. For me, I'm kind of in the same, like, something, we'll get into the physical, but I want to talk more about the emotional stuff, because for me, like, you giving another nigga attention, like, giving another nigga that time, you know what I mean? Like, I don't fuck with that. That's a big one for me. Like, I don't like that. And, like, I feel like, to be specific, like, guy best friends. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of funny about that. Like, I really am. And, like, and so here's what I'll say, right? Because I have girl best friends, you know what I mean? Or have. So, I feel like it's obvious if you know, but if you don't know, like, I'll kind of hop into it, right? So, am I completely against, do I think that girls and boys or men and women can be friends? Absolutely. I do think that that's possible. I also think that there are boundaries, and I think that there's a way that you can go about it. Like, if we're boyfriend and girlfriend, you know what I mean? You gotta, well, first of all, if you single, you got a guy best friend, you got a girl best friend, I really don't, you know what I mean? Do what you do. Like, I don't think that. Now, once you hop into a relationship, I think that there are certain boundaries, and I think that those relationships decrease. And not even that you do it on purpose, it just happens. Me and my girl, I just take up some of your time. You take up some of my time. And not, so it's just natural. Even me and you. When you got in your relationship, I already knew that me and you was gonna talk less. It just is what it is. I ain't get salty. You know what I mean? A little bit. I was like, damn. But I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I expect that I'm not gonna talk to you that much. You'd be like, oh yeah, my girl calling. The conversation ends right there. It's not no, oh man, you just on the phone with her. Nah, like, that just is what it is. Like, that relationship, you know, requires more time than our relationship does. It is what it is. Like, it's an intimate relationship. And so in that way, I feel like, yeah, no, I like, you know, so I understand that. It just like now when it goes to the other side, like I'm starting to see that like women want attention regardless whether you date nigga or not.
Hey, no cap.
You know what I mean? It's just like I feel like yo, like if I got a girl, you know, you my girl best friend, you definitely gotta take the back seat. Point blank, period. Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, like I haven't been married, but I've spoken to married couples, and it's like, yo, you get married, oh nah, that shit is dead.
What you mean?
That shit dead. Like, okay, so for instance, right, like let's say like when I used to when I was in high school, right, had my best friend Bree. She used to come over. She used to come over, chill, you know what I mean? My mom knew her. You know, my mom went to school with her mom, did stuff like that. She would come over. All right, I get in a relationship. Me and Bree just can't be chilling in a room like we was when we were single.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? So like we can't just be cool and even back then, like it wasn't like we was on nothing. We was just cool. But now that I got a girl, I call my girl, yeah, it's me and Bree. What the fuck, nigga? What you want? And if some people are cool with that, that's fine. That's yo. I'm just speaking about me. I just don't think that you know that. And even if like my girl wouldn't have to tell me that, like that the respect that I got for you, it just decreases. I'm not gonna be on the phone with Bree all the time. We're not going out on and chilling just us like that on the regular. That's just not cool. Something else for me is like, and I might be crazy, this might just be me, but like certain stuff that I would do with my girl, I'm not gonna take Bree and do that same shit. Like just us. Certain like some things are kind of like, you know, but like now I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm just not doing that shit. I'm not like if I'm taking my girl to the museum, 2 weeks later I'm not ready to go take Bree to the museum. Like, you know, like not just us. I'm not doing that. That's like that's not cool. Like if me and my girl got a restaurant, you know, I'm not going and taking, you know, or not just Bree, any girl best friend I have or any woman like that to do the same intimate things that I share with my girl, you know, or my soon to be wife. That's just not happening personally.
I feel that.
Like, you know, I just don't feel like for me that's something that's cool. Like, you know, like now at the same time, for instance, staying on the topic of Bree, like, you know, Bree called me, she got some relationship issues going on or whatever. Cool. You know, I don't think that I don't think it's an issue with that, you know, depending on what's going on, especially like I used to be a stickler of it's past a certain time. Like, nah, that shit dead. What the fuck you on the phone at 11 with that nigga for? What the fuck? Ain't nothing going on. You know what I mean? If it's an emergency, I ain't no asshole. I ain't gonna tell you, like, you know, when I was younger, I might have been. But now, and where I'm at, like, nah, I ain't no asshole. You know, you got something going on. Y'all cool. All right. But like, you know, that's changed for me now because I work overnight. So I do a lot of my talking with certain people at a certain time at night, but that's because I work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So it doesn't mean the same versus if I worked all day and then the time I'm in the bed, I'm on the phone and keep keying with you. You know, I'm not saying that it automatically means something's going on, but it's just a respect thing. You feel me?
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I'm as like such a stickler with the whole best friend. Like, so if my girl got a boy best friend, I'm cool with that. It's just certain boundaries, you know what I mean, that I'm like that I personally feel comfortable with, and what I don't feel comfortable with, you know what I mean. And as long as you live within that realm, we will never have an issue for it.
Right.
So it's like, for me, that's how it is, because I'm a nigga. So I know how niggas be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm also that nigga who has a girl best friend.
Right.
Or have had girl best friends, you know what I mean? So I know that it's possible, you know what I mean? I know that it can just be a genuine friendship. There's nothing going on. There's nothing that was going on or nothing that I wanted to do. So I'm not gonna like treat it like that's impossible. You know what I mean? I just feel like person to person type thing, and that's with any like type friend.
Yeah, but I think intimacy is something I look at more than physical. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you physically do something, like, you know, like if you physically did something to like kissing or anything, that would hurt. But like for me, that intimacy, because I know. I'm not saying all, but a lot of times women, they more so like, you're not just fucking a nigga. Like, you know, like you have to take the time to get to know them, to really like be mentally attracted to them to do that. So I feel like that means a lot more to me that you know what I mean? Like you talking on the phone with somebody, you texting somebody, like that one, and I'm not like, not that I'm to blame, because you can control your actions, but that one makes me reflect, okay, so what have I been doing that you feel like you need to go seek this attention somewhere else? Okay. Like, that's something that I look at. Not that I'm blaming myself, because, you know, like I just said, like, bitch, you was on one. You know what I mean? But that's something that I think about and try to reflect on as well. But then also, like, yeah, like, that physical stuff, like, if it's just hearsay, but if I find out, like, you know what I'm like, if I were to walk in,
oh man, GG's, no bet. It's GG's for me, bro.
You know, I try to look at myself as an upstanding citizen of society, and that I'd be cool. You know, I have a lot of patience.
A lot of spaz out, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I can't say I wouldn't put my hands on both of them.
Bro, that's crazy.
Like, I'm just being honest, like, and I know
That's
people.
I
know. I mean, I don't give a damn. Like,
bro, that is not funny, bro. That just caught me off guard.
Like, and I'm not even trying to say, like, I do that, and I do not condone putting your hands on women. I do not condone that. I'm just being honest, like, I just know myself. Like, in that moment, I might strangle you.
Strangle is crazy.
I'm for real. Like, I might, and like, and here's the thing. You know what? Let me be real. I don't know what I would do in that situation, but this just was going through my head. Like, if I walk in on it, I think I'll just try to turn around and walk away so I don't do nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, if you try to come after me, please don't, because I might turn around and smack you. Relax. Like, just let me walk out. Just let me go ahead about my life. You can have the crib. You can have the covers. You can have the mattress. You can have all that. You feel me? Now, if now, let's say if the nigga like says some shit, or like don't say nothing. You already got it. You didn't already fuck. Don't say nothing smart. If you say something smart, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm just being real. Like, that's just a scenario that goes through my head. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, something else too that I just thought about. If I'm with you and I had suspicion of somebody in your circle, and you end up fucking them, hell, I'm really gonna spaz. Because bitch, you gaslighted me into thinking that this nigga wasn't not nothing. And it ain't.
Yep.
Let me find out it's more than what I thought it was. Oh, we're gonna have some issues. It's gonna be trouble. Trouble.
Strangle that bitch.
For real.
Bro, that's crazy. I don't think, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. If I were to walk in on it, I can't say 100% what I would do, but I know, like, with the girl that I'm with now, I know for certain, 100%, I will not put hands on her.
Okay.
Like, in any type of way, you know what I mean? Just out of respect.
You're a good man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I fuck with the family. It's like, you know, we locked in. You feel me? It's not. I'm not just dating her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm involved with the whole family. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel it.
Like my grandfather was never in my life. You know what I mean? We just happened to be in 2 different countries. You know what I mean? So, like, that's the closest thing I got. Yeah. And it's like, I know if I were to do that, I'd be like hurting everybody. Yeah. Now I know I'd be hurt. I'd be salty as fuck. But I know realistically though, with the respect that I have, like I could never sit there and put my hands on him. Yeah. Now, the nigga, I believe, you feel me, charge it to the game. Now, if it's a bad day, like I was already mad, bro, I might crash out, bro. Like, he's gonna get his ass beat. And you know what? I'm sorry, bro. You drew the short shit, the short stick. So, like, there's nothing I can do about that. But it's 3 things I would do. All right. First, bet, and I'm gonna turn around. And I'm gonna really, you know what I mean? I'm gonna leave before I do anything. Second, I'm gonna beat his ass. Third, you know, I'm gonna burn the house down with the You know what I mean? My intention is not to kill nobody, just to give him a little scare. You know what I mean? But yeah, I might start a fire in that bitch. Even pushing girl shit. But I can never beat on her though.
Yeah, I don't think I would straight put hands on shorty, or like any woman in general. I think it's just like, if you start doing stuff to like just let me be. Like, you got it.
Like, she started tugging at you.
Yeah, like
babe, don't go.
Leave me alone. Babe, nigga, my name is Robert. not too fast, not Robby, not baby, boo, daddy. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Is that if you get me? I ain't gonna hold you. I don't want to hear none of that shit that moment, motherfucker. Like, nah, you got me chopped. You lost all them privileges.
Nah, bro, that's actually... Now, if it happened to be with someone that, like, I know, like, especially because of my past, you know what I mean? So, as Shawty knowing my past, bro, if she were to do some shit, like, with someone who's close to me, or someone, like, I suspected you downplayed that shit...
That's the thing, and it's like, and that's why I be like skeptical about nigga best friends, and because it's like, and like I said, like I'm not trying to be like so crazy, like it's impossible, because like me and you have like girl best friends, we've had multiple, you know what I mean, and neither one of us have fucked them, you know what I mean, or even like it just hasn't been something that we was trying to do, you know what I mean, like it's just been like nah, like you know, I even name some of them. Shout out to like, you know, Celebrity, Cheyenne, you know what I mean? Tina, Bree, you know what I mean? Like those all been my girl best friends I've had over the years. None of us was ever in no type stuff, you know what I mean? You know? So it's just like, I can see it's very possible. You know what I mean? We both was chill. And there have been times where I've had a conversation with certain ones, I'm not gonna say which ones, we'd be like, yeah, nah, that'd be weird. I ain't even gonna hold you. And like, it just would be weird, especially, and then me, I'm at the point, I'm like, hey man, look, I see how y'all act with niggas. You think I'm gonna engage with that?
You think I'm gonna fall for it?
I see how you be doing.
Yeah,
nah, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But that's just the one thing that because like you said, like we know how niggas be, and it's like, you know, a question that was brought to my attention was like, so you don't trust me? And it's like, nah, it's not you. I know you. Like it's not you. It's them. And it's not even that you're stupid or naive. It's not. It's just that, man, like, niggas will do if the opportunity presents itself, they will wait for that until they are a skeleton. Like, they will. And I'm not saying that every nigga's like that, but there are ones that are. And so, and then there's also, like, things that I've seen, like, you can tell who's genuinely for you and who's not. For instance, right, I've been in rooms where I might go meet my shorty's guy best friend. And first of all, I don't like none of them niggas. They can all kiss my ass. But like, for real, I don't give a damn. Like you gotta show me that you're not on no shit. Like I don't give a fuck. Oh, they was here before you. What the fuck that's supposed to mean to me? But I'm here now. 1, 2, like the ones that like they really not trying to speak to me. They kind of standoffish. They're not really trying to do nothing to get to know me. And I'm with your friend. Oh, that shows me you. I don't know what. I'm not saying that means that you want to be with my girl, but you're weird.
Yeah, it's weird vibes. It's weird.
It's very weird vibes versus niggas that like, you know, like how like Bree was with a dude. Like we go up there, we be trying. Yo, what's good with you? Like let's go hang out. Let's all go do something. Like that shows me. That's me showing you I'm not a threat. You don't got nothing to worry about from me. You know what I mean? I don't want your girl. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like you. I promise you got it.
I promise.
On everything. Like that's all you, bro. Like I don't got, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying everybody's not me. So I don't mean like, oh, well they're not you. That's cool. But it's like if I'm with you, if I'm with shorty for multiple years and you still acting weird, you still get quiet when I come around, you're not that shy.
Yeah, that is weird vibes, bro.
You
it's
know?
Like my feelings is hurt, low key. Fuck this nigga, man. You feel me? He got to change it for me.
And take myself out of it. I've seen other situations where we had an artist and we took her to perform, right? And it was some niggas that came to support her. Her nigga showed up. They was hurt.
No cop.
They was hurt. And I was like, oh, y'all like her. Oh, y'all thought y'all was playing the long game, coming to support, thinking that y'all was going, oh.
Yeah, niggas will do it, bro. Niggas will do it.
Yeah, they definitely will. They definitely will. And you could tell, like, you can see it in their face. They was just like, damn. You know what I mean?
They be like catching like the side eyes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like trying to look like they're not trying
on
to
their phone. You good, bro? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like,
niggas be weird. I ain't gonna lie.
They do. And then also, like, here's my thing, right? Niggas will fuck anything. But if you're attractive, if you're an attractive woman, I just want to put this out here, right? And I'm not saying that it's impossible. But like, you think that this nigga's coming into your life to be your friend with your fine ass? He like, oh wow, she's so beautiful. I'd want to be her friend.
You're corny.
Like, no, that nigga,
Chill the fuck out.
You know what he trying to do? You know what that nigga trying to do?
What you trying to do?
You trying to give that Thor's hammer? You feel?
Hey,
Nah, for real, man. You know what he trying to do? Like, nah. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, sometimes, like, it depends on the setting, though. Like, if you, let's say we business acquaintances, or we're all at a function, like maybe we're at school, you might just get to talking with people like, yeah, nah, you cool. Or like how I met, like Celebrity and Cheyenne, we all was in high school together. Like, we all cool. Like, I know Cheyenne since I was young. Mustangs, you know what I mean? Pop Warner football. I know her parents, they real cool. You know, we used to always go over there and chill for parties and stuff. Like, it was chill, you know what I mean? Same thing with Celebrity. Like, we was just cool from 6th grade up. Like, you know, this, that, and the 4th. But then Tina, like, I met her at work. We was work peoples. So then we was cool like that, you know. And then we translate that, and then I ended up quitting. Got fired. They said they fired me. I said I couldn't work here no more. Y'all trying to make like I got fired. Y'all tripping. Anyways, like, yeah, then we fired him. No, I left. What the freak? I moved. Anyways, so we just carried that past outside of being co-workers. You know what I mean? Like, we confided in each other with our current relationships at the time, and even relationships we had past that. So, you know, it's definitely possible. But if I meet you at the club or at a party where we all are drinking, I did not come to that party to find. Now, here's the thing, though. I feel like women do. They go to parties to find friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So then they think like, oh, I'm going here to find friends. That he's looking for a friend.
Bro was trying to smack.
He's trying to give you that horse dick. That's what he's trying to get you.
Hey, bro. I ain't gonna lie though. That whole, like, something you said, you know, oh, so you don't trust him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it don't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah, it's them.
In a sense, like, all right, so it's like, as niggas, right?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? If the opportunity presents itself,
mm-hmm.
you jump at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like, I really feel like, not all the time, but a lot of times, bro, that just be bullshit. Like, girls
mm-hmm.
know when the nigga's trying to get at them, bro. They know.
Mm-hmm.
But female like attention. You feel me? Now, I'm not going to say it's all, you know what I mean, but a lot of females like that attention. Even if they're not going to take it there, you know what I mean? They crave that attention.
They still like the fact that somebody's giving them that.
And it's like, sometimes, you know, it's a new person. You know, you get the new person, new feeling type joints. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, cool. Even if you're not doing nothing, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like, all it takes is 1 second. You know what I mean? One look too long. One look at his lips. One look, you feel me? And the nigga can move. So, now at this point in time, if something were to happen, you be like, well, he kissed me. Okay, he kissed you. How did y'all even get to that point? You feel me?
Right.
How did you even get to this point that, you feel me, this nigga felt like
it was cool?
You know what I mean? Because unless he's just a creep weirdo just out here just kissing random people, you know what I mean? Which I assume somebody would have called the cops. Like, or at least beat that nigga ass.
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean?
Nah, like, something had to give him the sign, the warnings, or whatever we want to call it, to jump at that.
Now, sometimes I will say, though, like, a conversation I was having with your girl, well, I think we was all there. I don't want to make it like I was talking to your girl. But, yeah, but a conversation I was having, it was like, or even I've had this with my sister, too. It's like, sometimes, like, they do the thing where, like, they'll smile to, in their head, like, oh, I'm smiling, so then maybe you'll go away because I smile. Like, okay, I was being nice to you, now you can go away. But niggas take that as, that's my opportunity to engage further. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so that's just like something my dad said. He was like, you know, like, women are for Venus, men are for Mars. You know what I mean? We speak 2 different languages. So for us, that smile means, oh, you want to talk more. You want to engage more in this conversation. Mm-hmm. But for them, smiling is like, nah, I'm trying to get you away because I'm being nice to you. You know, and some niggas are just weird. Whether you smile or an asshole, they're gonna talk to you anyway. That's them Baltimore niggas, you know what I mean? they just, you know, Baltimore niggas, you know, if you aggressive, that's attractive to them. But so I feel like that's the disconnect too, where it's like, you know, they think that, and then also like women think that if a nigga's being friendly, some like they do know. Sometimes they be like, you know, but if a dude isn't straight up like, oh yeah, I think you're beautiful, I'm trying to hang up. It's just like, hey, how you doing? My name's this. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Yeah. Oh, you're not telling me that I'm cute. You're not engaging me the way that most niggas engage me. You must just be trying to be my friend. Nah, they just come in with a different approach. They not trying to be outward about it immediately, so then they can kind of work their way into what they're really trying to do.
Fuck that. I feel like personally, bro, it's all in the eyes, the look, the body language. You feel me?
Yeah.
If a motherfucker is coming at you, you know.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little oblivious, as my girl say. She says I can't tell when other girls are flirting with me. You got to be direct with me. I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, I feel like with women.
Also, I feel like if you're not looking for that, like, and so I feel like, again, like women, sometimes they not looking for that. Like I said, they're just looking for a friend. So a nigga can't be doing everything you just said, but they're in their head, they're looking for friends. So he's coming at me as a friend because that's what I'm looking for. Like me, something like I just started noticing this like a couple months ago at my job, like when I'm doing security. Before, like, I really could not peep. And like when I was in a relationship, like my girl would tell me all the time, like, yeah, that girl in the gym is looking at you. I was like, who? No one over there? I ain't even peep. Like I saw her walk past me, but I didn't peep her looking at me because I'm not focused on her. I'm focused on working out and I'm focused on you. Like I'm in a relationship with you. I'm not checking for nobody else. It was just recently that it was brought to my attention, like, you know, or I just started looking like, okay, people keep saying that people flirting with me. I'm not paying attention. Let me just see if I can see what they're talking about. And then I did. I ain't do nothing with it because I ain't worried about you. But it was just like now I can kind of peep it though because it's something that's on my radar now as far as like being able to tell, oh, that's why they were being nice. Oh, that's why you smiled so hard because you thought I was cute. Oh, now some people are like when I was over the summer we had like shirts like they were like cut right here when I was working out and stuff, and she was like, oh, look at the muscles. Obviously you think I'm attractive, like you're not just talking about my muscles because you think I'm a, you know what I mean, like you. But some people like it's just their body language. But back to what I was saying, is that what you're looking for? If you're looking for that, it's obvious. It's super, super obvious. But if you're not, then it's like, you know, and then also it could be the opposite with that, where if you're looking for somebody to be in a relationship with, you take everything as they think you're attractive. You take a simple compliment, opening the door, a simple hi, any type of being nice. And now that's like, oh, he wants me. When it could be, or she wants me, where it could just be simple as they just like nice people. Like I even when I was younger, even sometimes now I get accused of flirting, and I'm like, what? I was just
You a friendly bitch.
Yeah. First of all, hold on for the bitch now. It's like that, but like I just being me. Like I thought that's what you're supposed to do when you're around people. You're supposed to be nice. You're supposed to just be. You know, be myself. Like I don't want to sit around and just be an angry person. Especially if I know you, if I'm cool with you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I had a situation where I was talking to this girl one time, and me and my mans was cool, and then her friend and her was cool. And so then like we was all hanging out, and I was just being friendly because I knew my man's girl. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to give it away. We had the same birthday. You know what I mean? So like I just joke. Oh, that's my twin. You know, I just joking, not even knowing no type stuff. Like I'm with you here. I'm with you right now. My man's there with his girl. What type of shit am I on that I'm ready to be?
Hey, niggas is grimy.
I'm about to say niggas will do that.
Niggas is grimy.
Niggas will do that. I ain't gonna act like they won't. But like just me, like I don't know. That would just be crazy to me. Like, you know. Also, I've known her before you. Why now am I just automatically starting to try to fuck with her? Just from that situation. I'm not saying it don't happen, but for me. And then me and her was riding around. She was like, yeah, you was being a little friendly. I was like, really? Like, she was like, yeah. Like, it seemed like you was flirting. With her?
Damn, snake face is crazy.
Because, like, nah. That's just not what was going through my head. Like, one, it just... I don't know, you know, like I said, but it could be taken as that though. Me being overly nice, because then that just also shows like a lot of people just not nice. A lot of people are assholes. So then when people are being nice to them, you know, they take that as it has to be something more, because most of these niggas is assholes. Most of these people talk. Most people don't make joke with me like this. So if you do, you gotta like me, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah, but at the same time, bro, there's another question of like, okay, you know this person is flirting with you, but you know you're not gonna take it there. You know what I mean? So it could be like, well, it's nothing there because I'm not gonna take it there. You know what I mean? But it's also like, it comes to a point in time where it's like you're allowing this person to sit there and give you these compliments and do these subtle flirting with you, and it's like, to me, bro, I'm not going for it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you know this person likes you, you know this person has a crush on you and they be trying like little slick shit here and there. I feel like personally, bro, you gotta cut that shit out.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about it's a friend. I mean, it's a friend that want to be more than a friend. So what the fuck is we talking about?
Right. And why are you allowing that? But like you said, because you want that attention. And niggas do that shit too. You know y'all flirting. You know you doing all that shit too. And you keeping it around because you want to keep your options open. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that that's cool. That's just not that just don't. You know what I mean? It don't sit right with me either. Like, you know, like if you really invested in this person, that's somebody that you really try and be. You know what I mean? And then also something else too. Like, let's say if that is a situation and your partner brings it to your attention, and you try to downplay it, like, nah, they not even like that. That's cool, but I don't vibe with it. And you know, the first thing we're gonna call insecurities. You insecure. You just insecure. You can't this, that, and the fourth. It's not about insecurity. It's about it don't make me comfortable because I know what it could be, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? It's very, very possible. But it's like in that moment, you know, you just gonna keep doing this because you want to do what you want to do, or you gonna respect the relationship.
Facts. I feel like it's a delicate balance, bro. You're gonna hear me say that shit a lot. I feel like it's a delicate balance, like, because if you have a partner, right, and that partner has a friend or someone who's in their inner circle who low-key makes you uncomfortable, I feel like that's worth a conversation. You know what I mean? Hey, so I ain't gonna lie, when you talking to Jordan, man, that shit right there, the way y'all, whatever it is, whatever that makes you uncomfortable, be like, yeah, that shit makes me uncomfortable. And she go, well, that's just how it is, this, that, and the fourth. Now, as your partner, they need to keep that in the back of their mind. Like, okay, you know, this is kind of like a boundary that I need to set, this, that, and the fourth. But it's like, people, I don't know, bro. People don't know how to do both or at least compromise even. Like, well, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga's my friend, so, no, I'm not cutting him off. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. So then if I have one of my friends over here that makes you uncomfortable now, is it cool for me to keep rocking out? Because I don't want to cut them off because we're friends? You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to completely cut this person off, because I also believe in, you feel me, you have your friends, you have the right to have your friends, like they're special to you.
Like I said, like it's them boundaries though. Like you get to that point, it's like it shouldn't be the way that y'all was friends when you were single cannot still be the way y'all are friends when y'all in a relationship. And then from relationship to marriage, it's different. You're not the same. You're not in the same situation you was at that time.
Facts.
Like you're in a relationship now. You're married now. It changes, and it's not about me changing. You are trying to dictate your life, and I'm not even like saying like, oh, you gotta cut this nigga off. But it's just like me, how I operate. It's a respect thing. I respect you, and I don't even. It kind of goes in place with like the principles of transparency. I don't even want to get to that point where it could possibly be something where you feel like, nah, before we even get to that point, because I know that this is a woman that's my friend and you're a woman too, and there could possibly be something. Hey, look, we can't talk as much. This is what it is. That don't mean that we can't ever be cool. We can't talk as much. We can't go and hang out the same way like we used to. I'm not single no more. I got somebody else, you know what I mean? And I don't want her to feel threatened at all. I feel like her position is, well, I gotta share my time with, like, nah. You know what I mean? It's different. I got 3 sisters. You know what I mean? I got my mom, I got my aunts, you know what I mean? All right. But, you know, like, yeah, I'm not ready to go fuck my best friend. You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's not on, it don't hold the same weight as my sisters. You know what I mean? It just don't. You know what I mean? Some people do see their people as sisters. And that's another conversation that, if that is you, if you are that type of person, y'all got to have that conversation. But for me, in my situation, it's not the same. Yeah, that's my best friend. I care about you. I do for you. You know what I mean? I'll be there for you. But if I get in a relationship, it just change the same way, like I said with you in the beginning. It just changes. We don't talk as much. This is probably the most time we're going to spend with each other over the next couple months. Okay. You know what I mean? This is going to be the most that we talk, just because you got your girl. And that's the priority. And then when you get married, you have kids. Like, that's your family. We're family, but that's your immediate family. And that's your priority right there. You know? So, yeah.
I feel that.
I feel like this turned into more of a boy best friend, girl best friend than what's cheating. Yeah. But, I mean, I guess the next thing we can kind of talk about is like the bitter baby daddies versus bitter baby moms.
Oh man, let's get into it.
Hey, yeah, you got it, bro.
let's get into it. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like there's a lot of. Okay, I'll say it this way. When it comes to like bitter, like baby moms or baby dads, I feel like low key is probably closer in number than you actually think.
Absolutely.
But you always hear more like the bitter baby moms. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you definitely do hear about that more.
You see that shit more. And that's just what's like thrown out there more. But I know, I ain't gonna lie, bro. For me, it don't matter if it's a bitter baby mom, bitter baby dad, whoever like uses the kid as like leverage against the other person. I feel like you're an asshole. Like, and you deserve a certain spot in hell. Ain't gonna lie.
I can't ride with you on that. Like, that's using kids as leverage. Like, actually, I know somebody I'm cool with, and she was telling me about that, like how her ex-boyfriend right now, like he playing on the emotions of their son. You know what I mean? Like, he basically like you know, he was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna take him for the weekend. And then they got there, they standing in the cold waiting, and she's like, oh yeah, nah. Or like she calling like, where you at? He's like, oh yeah, nah, I'm in Philly. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's just like, why would you do that? Like, it's like you trying to get back at her, you know what I mean? Like, you trying to be weird, getting back at her, like using him as a pawn, like playing with his feelings, like, you know what I mean? And so that type shit with me is just not cool, you know, or even, or I've seen things like, you know, you've seen stuff all the time where it's like the child support, like the mom, the women put the nigga on child support because they just trying to be petty, they trying to take shots, you know what I mean? Like, they're not really thinking about the whole thing. And like, don't get me wrong, like, if your baby dad ain't shit, that nigga need to be on child support because this shit is not easy. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is not easy. Like, I don't have no kids of my own, but you know, I'm the oldest of four. You know, I've seen how my mom struggled. You know, I've seen, you know, and I mean, when I was in it, I didn't really think much of it. But looking back at it, like, I could only imagine. First of all, before we even get to that, like, I'm me, myself, an adult, my own. It's hard for me to take care of myself. And not even just like, it's so crazy, like, oh my God, I'm complaining. Like, nah, I do what I gotta do. But it's tough. Now, add 4 people on top of that.
Yeah, bro. A lot.
Add 4 people on top of that that are constantly growing. That one year they wear a size 6 and the next year they wear a size 8. That one year one burger is fine, but the next year they need 3 burgers to be full. You know what I mean? You got 4 of them motherfuckers. You know? So I could only imagine how that is. Or even just one. An extra person on top of that. You know, on top of you, right? I know you see the bill from when you eat by yourself versus you take your girl. You know what I mean? I go to IHOP, it's like $23. Take my ex girl, we up to 70.
Dang.
Yeah.
70's crazy. What the fuck? 70's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, it, but that's just an example. You know what I mean? Like, it's more. It's way more. So I do think that, like, if you do really need that help, that's what it's there for. But for the people that, you know, just trying to be petty because they salty because your ex is moved on to another person, or they got kids with other people, all this, that, and the fourth, like, you know what I mean? Or you like, oh, you know, I want some money so I can do stuff for myself, like take that child support. Yeah, and I ain't with that. Or like, you know, I've seen, you ever see that black woman on TikTok? She the judge with the glasses, and she.
I think so. She was talking about the child support cases.
Yeah. Where the one they be like, the mom is making $100,000, the dad making 70, but the kids live with the dad. He takes care of all the expenses and stuff, and she's like, well, I should get child support because I'm a woman. Yeah, you tripping.
Yeah, that is brazy.
You say what?
That is brazy.
Yeah, nah. So I don't really got a bunch to add to this, but like, I just feel like just shed light on the fact that like, but they're bitter baby dads too, same type joke.
Hell yeah.
It's like, yo, like, nah, like, I ain't taking care of these kids because, you know, you with another nigga, like, your nigga should take, like,
tell your niggas take care of them.
Nah, bro, that is not how the fuck that works. That is not how that works at all. Like, nah, yo, you gave her that Thor's hammer. You know what I mean?
Bro, that shit get me every time.
Bro, like, you gave her that, yeah. You lay down. You know, y'all created this. Take care of your responsibilities. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Granted, like, you know, people might be like, "Oh, you don't got no kids. You don't understand." So I don't completely understand. But what I do know is that in my mind right now, if I had a kid, hey, look, I don't care what the fuck going on. Like, I'm gonna do what I got to do to take care of that kid. Point blank, period. And I'm not saying that it's as easy as I'm making it out to be, because I just spoke on the fact that it's definitely not going to be. There's things that I don't know that I'll find out when I get there. But when I do, I'm going to do the best I can. Not that everything's going to be perfect. And I'm going to fuck up. That's life. But I just couldn't imagine, like, playing with somebody, like, and then, you know what that shows me, though? That you still got love for that person. You just don't know how to, and you just don't know how to navigate around that. You know what I mean? And then going from that, I just know that using the kids as collateral is not cool.
Bro, that shit's actually foul how, like, grimy that shit became, bro. I was at Wawa, bro. I swear to God, bro. I'm waiting to use the ATM. The dudes over there, you know, brake trucks or whatever they be filling. First of all, boy, I seen that money.
Hey, look.
Boy, my nigga Wade's got the best of me, boy. I get to thinking, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, I'll run off with this shit right now, bro. Like, bro, it was just bands. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
But either way, that's not the point. Shawty on the phone, right? Was talking with a friend. She like, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. That child support money just came in. I'm about to go get my nails done. Shit, I'm about to get my hair done. Then I'm gonna go to the mall. I'm like, damn. OT, you talking about all the shit you doing for yourself.
Right. What's up with the kids?
What's up with the kids? But she could have had her kids taken care of.
I'm about to say, you know, in my head, and the only thing I was going to say, right, we think she automatically talk about the child support money. What if the child support money is taking care of the kids, and like now she can use her own money to go do that stuff?
No, she specified. Like, I'm going to use this child support money.
All right, never mind. I tried.
Hey, nah, bro. That's what like really tuned me into the conversation. Though. So I was just like, damn. I'm looking like, damn, what nigga, fuck that, bro. Feel bad for you, my guy.
And that's another thing, man. Y'all gotta know who y'all laying down with. Like, everybody think it's all cool, it's all fun and games. Like, yeah. Like, that's something else that bothers me. Is like people don't take into consideration like what you're doing. Like, you think y'all just fucking. Like, nah. Like, this is literally the step before procreate. Like, this is what that is.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. In the rare situations where that bitch was grimy, or like. Even sometimes niggas are nutting the bitch on purpose, like, and be like, nah, I didn't do that shit. Like, I know I pulled out just to, you know, trap a bitch.
Yeah.
But, like, the girls who, like, pop a hole in the condom, you know what I mean? And then she be OD about that shit. Like a nigga got a little something going for him. And a lot of sad case. And that's coming from me, bro. I told my mom to put my dad on child support.
Shit.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
She looking at me. She like, you know, it's hard. Why don't you put that nigga on child support? You know, he's a good guy, and you're struggling. You know what I mean? Like, where was you at? Put that nigga on child support.
Yeah.
Every year, bro. She would say the same shit. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I said, you don't want the money. You know what I mean? What if he can't pay it? That's his business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You made the choice. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? But it's also like I feel like there's people who's cruddy and like set the other person up or do some foul shit now to hold that over them, bro, that's crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and that little kid had nothing to do with that, bro.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, bro. And you know, that father could grow up hating the kid, you know what I mean, or resenting the kid because of his situation and how it went down. And now that kid has issues, you know what I mean? It's just like a cycle. But I just feel like, bro, people just be grimy in the world, just doing shit that they really don't have no business doing.
At the end of the day, man, take care of your kids, man. First of all, before you get to that point, know who you laying down with, you know. But then I also feel like it might not be no real way to know, you know. Like that type of situation changes people. And, you know, like you can kind of like we can say we're going to do one thing, we have a perspective of how we're going to move, but until you get to that point, like you really don't know. And it could really, you know, it's a scary thing. But at least, like, you know, but at the same time, have those conversations. Really pick that person's mind, man. If they like, I don't know, or if they like jokingly, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. Like, hey, nah, take that seriously. Take that for real. You know what I mean? Because all jokes have a little bit of truth in it.
Delete his fetus.
Oh Lord Jesus, Soldier.
I'm just saying, my
right,
guy.
we're gonna have to cut that out. Lord mercy, goddamn. But like, God, dude, Yeah, but yeah, just know who you laying down with, and when you are just that's an essential talk that you need to have. You need to be talking with these people and know where their mind is, and for real, know who you, because that could be the father of your child one day. Mm-hmm. That could be the mother of your child. Like, really know where their head's at. And like I said, you might not 100% be able to know until you get to that point where y'all are in that situation. But at least if you have the conversation, you can kind of know. Like me, like I said, like, let's say I ain't snitching with nobody right now, but if I was, like, I get a girl pregnant right now, everything I do between now and the next 9 months and then the next 18, 20, 25 years is, you know what I mean? Hey, look, what I got to do for this kid? Like, I got to take care of myself, make sure I'm self-straight, but to make sure that they're in a better position, that my kids don't go through what I had to go through. You know what I mean? Like, something that was big was that I wanted to make it past the age where that my parents had me. You know what I mean? They had me when I was when they were 23 and 22, or maybe 25. You know, so, and it's not like that's the goal, but that just kind of showed, like, they talk about all the time, like they weren't ready. You know, now my dad keeps saying he want me to have kids, not until I'm 30. Kind sir, I'm gonna have a kid at 28 just to mess. It's like that, but
I ain't gonna lie though. I feel like, you know, the conversation before, you know, fucking or whatever is needed, but just like you said, you don't really know what you're gonna do. You don't really know what you're gonna do until you're in that situation, right? Because you can sit there and be like, yeah, abortion, you know, that's what we're gonna do. Or, you know, if you're against that, you know what I mean, that's your choice. You going, okay, we're gonna do this, but then when it comes along, at that point in time, bro, it's really up to the girl. You know what I mean? Because at this point in time, if she wants to do it, bro, like she wants to get rid of it, she's gonna get rid of it. If she wants to keep it, she's gonna keep it. There is nothing that you can do to change her mind. You know what I mean? Her body, her choice. It's cool. Now, I feel like, depending on the type of guy you are and the situation, like, it's worth a conversation for real. Because it's like, if I'm really down for you, I'm really this, I'm really that, I'm really trying to be your husband, this, that, and the fourth, and something happened, you know, I really feel like, or I hope you would take my opinion and how I feel into consideration before you make your decision. But you know how it goes. You know what I mean? It's whatever the girl really wants.
Yeah, and if you don't bang with that, make sure you with somebody that's not that selfish.
Yeah.
But,
or wrap up, my guy.
Double wrap. Triple.
Double wrap.
Or just don't lay down with somebody that, you know what I mean? And it's, you know, it's not as, people gonna look at it like, I mean, I'm just trying to do what I'm trying to do, that's cool. But every action has a, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
A repercussion?
Yeah, has a repercussion. So just be mindful of that type of stuff. Like, you know, just really, I would advise, I would hope that y'all be mindful when y'all making these type of decisions, because they're life-altering decisions, you know? Mm-hmm. You don't just walk into the dealership, give me that car. Like, nah, you look at the Carfax. Hey, look, how many miles on this John? Mm-hmm. Has it been any accidents? Is there any flat tires? Is there any cracks in the windshields? You know what I mean? You really look through that. And not that women are cars, but the decision to do that is at the level of, like, doing something like that. You know what I mean? So just...
really take your time.
Yeah, really take your time to really know what's going on. You know what I mean? If you just trying to have your fun, I mean, look, you a young stallion. Go ahead, buck.
Yeah,
go ahead, buck. You know what I mean? But just like you said, wrap up. You know what I mean? But yeah. But you got anything else, Vito?
I mean, realistically, it's sad, guys, but yeah, niggas do not have a choice when it comes to that, bro. At the end of the day, she can make that appointment her goddamn self. She can drive her goddamn self. She can go into that office her goddamn self. So, realistically, you know what I mean? When it comes down to it, you gotta really know that person, and y'all really gotta be on the same page before y'all even if y'all it is likely it could change, you feel me? Because that starts happening, you know, she could be like, damn, I really feel a connection to this, and I don't think I want to go through with our first decision. At that point in time, what the fuck you gonna do? Can't put your hands on the bitch. You know what I mean? Can't push the bitch down some stairs or some shit. You know what I mean? So you just gotta rock out with it, right? And low-key, I feel like in those points in times, it's low-key fucked up for the niggas. It's like, if we talked about it, if something were to happen, this is what we're gonna do, and then when it comes to the point in time and you change your mind, low-key, that's fucked up. It's like what happened to what we said before. But I also understand, you know, you didn't know, situation has changed, you know what I mean? Something is growing inside of you, and you can feel it growing inside of you. Your body has symptoms because of it, you know what I mean? I understand all of that. I'm just saying, low-key, there's things in life where it's really just that black and white. Someone's gonna get the shitty end of the stick. And for that, it's the niggas. So sad.
All right, we're gonna get into these. Am I open-minded? Would I be the asshole if I accepted not to see my mother-in-law anymore? So I, female, always had a good relationship with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. When we told them I was pregnant, they were, well, my father-in-law was happy, but my mother-in-law not. She wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the evening.
Damn.
When our little sunshine was born, my mother-in-law didn't really want to come to the hospital, but father-in-law really wanted to, so she dragged along but wanted to leave after a few minutes. Next we heard from her was a few weeks after if we could come by for dinner. We did decide to go since this was their only grandchild. My significant other is an only child. They never really wanted kids as he was an accident, so no siblings. Chill. At dinner, my mother-in-law bragged about how they always went to a hotel to party at the bar, and my significant other was in the room alone. The fuck? They went a week after my significant other was born. My significant other was just left in the room without anyone watching. Damn. Next, my mother-in-law decided to pass by our place. My significant other wasn't home, so I told her to give me an hour since the baby is sleeping on my chest. She still rang multiple times, which did wake him up. I bit my teeth and opened the door to let her in. She was in a really bad mood, like really pissed, and she let it all out on me. How I suck as a mom because I don't just let him scream through the night so that he learns to sleep through. How I dare to still breastfeed. How I dare to still breastfeed after 2 months. How I need to go out party and just leave the baby alone at home. What the fuck? How she wishes my significant other and I never got together.
Okay.
She basically screamed at me and just told me how I need to change everything. I told her to leave, called my significant other crying, and told him everything. He was pissed and went to talk to her the next day. She flipped everything to make her look like the poor victim who didn't say anything, and how I must have misunderstood. How she would just not say anything from now on because everything she says is wrong, and she must have done everything wrong when having my significant other. I never said one word about her parenting. Maybe raised an eyebrow and swallowed hard, but not one word. She told my significant other she'd rather die than apologize to me. Damn.
She said, I'm standing on that.
My partner believed me up until he went to my mother-in-law's place. She's very manipulative. Don't know if you're familiar with growing up with a narcissist, but she did a great job with her son. So he believed her that I must have misunderstood. I did have to go back to work when my baby turned 3 months. 2 days I work from home and 2 days I'm at the office. The days I'm at the office are covered on day one, my significant other. On day 2, by my mom. The days some days my mother-in-law comes for 1 day. The first few times my son and my significant other was there, when mother-in-law came over, since I didn't want to see her alone. The last time she came over with his present. She wrote me a letter stating how she hopes we will now get along when we are alone with the baby. She doesn't know what she did wrong, but I am such a bossy person, that's why I must not like her. How I am not originally from their country. I am from the country next to it, and the language difference is like American English to Canadian English, and therefore don't get her. When I told her to please not kiss my baby, she rolled her eyes, saying back, then they always used to do that. When I told her to wash her hands before touching my baby, she thinks it's useless, and back then they never cared. She made him porridge, stating that I have to feed him that so that I can stop breastfeeding. That's how they always used to do it. I put him down and told her she doesn't have to hold him straight away. Again, just let him stretch. Went to the other room and then heard him crying. She was sitting there watching him cry with a smirk. When I asked her why she didn't do anything, she told me I told her to let him play by himself. When I told her she has to learn to play by him, he has to learn to play by himself, not cry by himself, she told me that's not her problem but mine. She's a sweetheart when my significant other's around, but when we are alone, she's not. But flips it to make me look bad. It enrages me just thinking about her, but I do want my baby to have both grannies in his life, and my significant other to have his mother. I had a huge fallout with my significant other the other day, so now my significant other wants to tell her not to come anymore at all. He wants to go to North Carolina with her, but only for my sake. He seems hurt by this, but sees me suffering. I told him it's his fault. He never told her to just not talk to me like that. Would I be the asshole if I agreed? I feel yes, because it's still his mother, and I don't think this is fair at all.
I ain't gonna lie.
Call it how it is.
I do not feel like she's an asshole for wanting to accept that whole, like, not seeing, because I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't know, the mother-in-law's story or her side. Just going off of what we know. Bro, the mother-in-law is a bitch. Like, first of all, what really got me was the baby was crying and she was just sitting there smirking.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I don't care if you're the mother-in-law, father-in-law. I don't care if you're shorty brother. You feel me, uncle? Yeah, nah, bro, that's weird vibes, and you gotta go.
Yeah.
That's all for it. Because why is the baby crying? You smiling like that shit funny or something?
Yeah.
Like, at that point, I feel like my child's life would be in danger if I left them around you alone. You know what I mean? Like, nah, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't think she would be in that. Like, I don't know what's gonna take. I feel like in an ideal world, I feel like the family should stay together. I feel like they should try to work it out. But if not, man, she can come see the grandson, or you can go with the son or whatever. But like, as far as us, we do not gotta interact like that. We can be cordial, keep it pushing. Like, I do not need to be your best friend, especially if you're gonna treat me like that. Like the mother of your grandchild, and I'm doing nothing but trying to just raise my child and be cool. Like, and it's like, it seems like just because of the situation, now you being away, and then now you're trying to hey, look, like, that's the way you want to raise my husband. That's your son. Cool. That's not your son. That's my son. Mm-hmm. I'm raising him how I want to raise him. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't got to do it the way you did it. Like, talk about something. You used to go to parties and leave him by himself as a baby. What the fuck is you on? And if that's what you want to do, cool. But that don't mean that I got to do that shit. That don't mean that I just got to let my baby cry. That don't mean that you not going to wash your grimy ass hands before you touch my child. I don't give a fuck who you is. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, bro, you tripping. And I find that with older generations versus younger generations. Anytime a new generation is coming on, the older generation thinks that nah, you gotta do it the way we did it. Like, bro, no, I don't. We have advancements in things, or we do stuff a different way. It might not be the way you did it, and that's cool. You know what I mean? And that's fine. And we might not agree, and that might be the way you did it. But the way, wash your hands before you touch my kid. I'm gonna breastfeed my child, man, not me, but she's gonna breastfeed her child until she's done. You know what I mean? I'm not leaving my child home alone. I'm going to pick him up when he cries. That's what I'm going to do. Let me figure that out. You know what I mean? If you can show me something that's seriously detrimental to me doing these things, that's a discussion that we can have. It is not by force that I do this.
Facts. I do feel like we should take heed from what the older generation says. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they do got some gems in there. And, like, for instance, like the whole letting the baby cry. You know what I mean? And the reason I say this is because, boy, there was this little Jake who used to come to the house, bro. You could not put him down. Mm-hmm. The second you put him down, like, he's crying. And I don't mean like just little, like he's screaming his ass off. Mm-hmm. Tears is coming, he's flinging himself all over the place until someone picks up this little baby and hold him. As soon as you pick him up, though, he's cool. Mm-hmm. Stops crying, he's chill. But you put him down, scream. Like, certain things like that, like, parents who's raised 5-6 kids, who's done this for years, could be like, yeah, no, doing that, you're going to lead to this. But I also feel like just because you say that, don't mean I have to listen to it.
Sometimes, man, you got to go through it to figure it out. Like, people got to figure that stuff out. Like, they got to just learn those lessons. It would be perfect if we could just, okay, I know you went through this, but like, I got to learn that. Like, I have this bond to my son, you know what I mean? The same way that you had the bond to whoever. And for you, it was so easy for you to do that. That's not that easy for me. True. So I got to go through this, and maybe I'll come back and be like, you know what, you were right. I probably should have at that time. But let me go through that. That's how I grow. You can't stunt my growth by trying to control the way that I do everything. Some people need that.
That's why it's a delicate balance, bro. You got to give the advice, but it's like, I'm giving you this knowledge and you do what you want with this knowledge.
Right.
But I feel like the older generation of give knowledge, and if you don't do it, they'll look at you sideways like you're trash or you're a piece of shit. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're
As
doing.
if you wasn't my age and somebody was telling you this stuff and you wasn't trying to listen.
But it's also like, every kid is different. You know what I mean? Just because you did this with your kid and it worked out, my kid might react a whole different way to it. You know what I mean? So, that shit, yeah, bro. When it comes to that whole parenting, I feel like we should take lessons, or we should like listen to what they say, but also find our own way and implement whatever they said in the way that we can. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's all I got. I don't think she was an asshole for wanting to do that. Like, but yeah, that's my closing thing with it. I don't think she's an asshole for not wanting to speak. But like, yeah, until you can show me some respect, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that because I would rather things be, you know, cohesive and working. But if not, you know what I mean? I don't care who you is. I can't just let you continue to disrespect me.
Also, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like some people be slow. Like, if they're like in that situation, bro, I just would have put cameras up. Like, no lie, I would have put cameras up. They catch the audio. Like, okay, you want to act the way. And when I tell my significant other how you acting, you want to flip it. Okay, flip this 4K. You feel me? Like, how can you do that? Nah, I would have caught you on camera tripping.
Right.
Then once I show the significant other the film, what can they say? You gonna tell me I'm lying or I'm still misunderstanding it?
Right.
So yeah, that's how I would have did it, bro.
Am I the asshole for deciding to become temporarily celibate 1.5 years into a relationship?
Jeez, run that again?
Am I the asshole for deciding to become temporarily celibate 1.5 years into a relationship?
Okay. Interesting.
I am a 29-year-old female and dating a 33-year-old male. We've been dating for 1.5 years and living together for almost a year. I used to be really insecure when I was younger, and I self-medicated by sleeping around because I liked feeling wanted. Surprise, surprise, it didn't help my self-confidence at all. It made me feel worse. I resonate with that. Luckily, I don't have to have a lot of the confidence issues I used to have. I was still really just starting to work on myself when I met my boyfriend, and he really showed me what a healthy relationship is supposed to be like. He's the first guy I've met who I feel like loves me for me and not just how I look and what they can get from me. I was very honest with him about my past, and he was super supportive. We have had a pretty normal sex life and the whole time we've been dating. This is my longest and healthiest relationship. Last year I realized that my past had really done damage to me. I didn't want my past to continue to affect my present or future, so I started seeing a therapist to work out some of my issues. In therapy, I realized that I have always used my ability to please my partner in the bedroom as a yardstick for my worth in a relationship. Not how kind I am, not how well I treat them, nothing else. This was very unsettling to me. I decided a couple months ago that I wanted to temporarily explore a sex-free relationship. I want to feel comfortable in my role as a girlfriend and as myself as a person on my own without relying on my ability to please or obsessing about it. I want to make sure we are developing emotional intimacy without the physical side. Most importantly, I want to be confident that when we start back up having sex, that I'm confident in myself. It's been 2 months of celibacy after almost a 1.5 years of sex every day. I feel like I'll be ready to pick that up again soon, but not yet. I've been honest with my boyfriend with my reasonings and have assured him I'm still attracted to him. So far, he's been patient with me, way more so than I thought he'd be. Some of my friends, however, think I'm being disrespectful to him. After all, we spent over a year having a normal sex life, and out of the blue, I decided to put a pause to it. I've also heard that it's fine if I want to be celibate, but it's selfish of me to force him into it when that wasn't our original deal. Am I the asshole for putting the brakes on my sex life with my boyfriend for an undetermined amount of time over a year into a relationship? Oh hell. What you ready to say, nigga?
Alright, do I feel like she's an asshole for that? No. Obviously, man, it is her choice if she wants to get jiggy or not, you feel me? Now, I feel like it's like she lucked out with a partner who understood her and wanted to support her in what she was doing. You know what I mean? Because not every nigga is going to just be forced into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like she really lucked out. And honestly, if the nigga wanted to leave as well, I would also understand that. And I don't think he'd be an asshole for that either, because it's like that wasn't the part of the deal when we started this. And you want to change, and it's like, okay, cool, that's fine. I completely support, but that doesn't mean that I have to do that.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with that part, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say he'll be an asshole, but I don't. Nah, I'm not saying that he'll be an asshole if he left, but like, considering the circumstance, like considering her past and everything she went through, and then going to therapy and all that, and kind of realizing that, and then wanting to do that for yourself and really, you know, try to be the best version of yourself in that. Like, if that's really what you're trying to do, like, you're not just being weird, you know what I mean? You're not just gonna try and go fuck somebody else. Like, she's really, to me, this sounds like she's really genuinely trying to, you know, be a better person and deal with some of them demons she had from her past. Like, if I really fuck with you, you know what I mean? Like, if you really fuck with your person, like, I don't see no issue with that. You know, now, I do feel like, especially because she was updating him with everything. You know what I mean? Like, if you just kind of like, all right, we're not gonna have sex, and then you're not really talking to me about it, communicating with me, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, let me know, let me in the loop, you know, like, okay, hey, this is how this is going, I've had this progress, you know what I mean? Keeping me in the loop, you know what I mean? Keeps kind of some of those thoughts away, you know what I mean? And it kind of, so that's if you really fuck with her, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that wanting to leave means that you don't, but I just couldn't see myself like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of weird just considering the fact that based on her situation where she used that as a tactic and it messed with her. And so then now she's trying to, like, you know, be better because of that. So I wouldn't say that he would be an asshole if he left. But, and I can see what you're kind of saying, like, you kind of see, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. All right. It's all right. All right. You Mr. Good Guy over here.
This nigga soldier, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. All right. You Mr. Good Guy over here. I understand what you're saying, bro. And personally, I've also dealt with a situation like that as well.
I have too.
You know what I mean? I stuck it out because the person I was with, I loved them, support, cool, let's work this shit out. But it's also like, let me ask you, right? She said an undetermined amount of time that she wants to be celibate, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're talking a few months here. Let's say she hit 2 years. She talking about, I'm not trying to fuck. You still rocking out through that whole 2 years?
It depends. It depends on what she means to me, and if I really see myself, like, if I see myself being with her for the rest of my life, I'll wait. But if you just somebody, like, if I'm not sure about that, then I don't think I could. Like, if you're not somebody, like, if I was having questions already about if we gonna last, and then this comes up, it's like it's stacking on. I already didn't think we was gonna be together, and now you trying. I don't know. But if you really the person, I'm unequivocally, like, undeniably, like, yeah, nah, you mine. I'll wait for you to the end of time.
Sounds nice. Just saying, bro. Like, and I don't say that because as a man, bro, you have needs, and you're like, well, you know, it's cool, this, that, and fourth, but I really feel like, bro, personally, bro, I went a couple months. Cool, you know what I mean? Some people can go 5 years, no issue. Power to you. I just personally think, bro, after a certain amount of time, bro, it's like, okay, we gotta shake something. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I still feel like she has the right to do all that stuff. You know, she wants to better herself. She wants to be the best version of herself. That's cool. Power to you. You feel me? Put that work in. I support.
Yeah.
But there's another side of me that's also like, well, okay, how long is this gonna be though?
Well, why do you feel like you want to know? Like, why is that so important? The time length.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Personally, for me, I didn't sign up for a relationship with no sex at all. So it's like, if you're talking about you want to put a pause to it, that's perfectly fine. I just want to know the time. I want to know what I'm in for. You know, yeah, you keeping me in the loop, and that is very helpful. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, like, You could be like, I want to stop doing this. Okay, cool. That's cool. But how long? You feel me? You could be like 3, 4, 5 years. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah. I feel like, I low-key feel like it's kind of selfish to say that, but I'm half and half. Because I feel like it's kind of selfish because in that moment you're thinking about you and not, her and the whole thing. But at the same time, it could be like, well, she's thinking about her. So then why can't I think about me? But then also I feel like her doing that will make her a better person for the relationship. You know what I mean? And it could also improve y'all sex life, So, but then I also feel like it's not selfish because I feel like it may not be selfish because at the same time it's like you just asking for communication. So like it's not like if you're asking why because like you just can't go without sex, you know what I mean? It's like you would not that you're only here for sex, but it's like that's kind of a selfish way of thinking. But if you're I just want to know because I just want to know what's going on so I can how can I best be here for you? I can know what's going on in my head. That's just the communication we need in our relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, and let it be selfish. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, because the thing is, everybody has to be a little bit selfish. Like, and it's like, in the sense I'm saying, I'm not saying Shawty's like, oh, this, that, and the fourth. It's like, you automatically leave. But it's also like okay, for instance, right? You're a Christian. What if you're dating Shawty, this, that, and the fourth, and then she's like, you know what? I don't want to believe in God no more. I'm cool off of him. You know what I mean? That's her choice. She could be like, I want to go discover this or do this to find the best version of myself. I feel like that's who my self-being is calling out to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you being a Christian, and you said before, Shawty's not believing in God, it can't happen. Ain't that the same thing? We're just taking something different. It's because a lot of people look at it, oh, you just can't wait to not have sex, this, that, and the fourth. But it's like, that's not necessarily true. Your decision is affecting me as well. And it's like, when we started this, if you would have said that shit, like, I want to, practice this, that, and the fourth, okay, cool. And then if he left afterwards, okay, this is what we agreed on. Now, things do change. I understand that.
Well, see, that's big. She said she's going to therapy now, and then she discovered that. Like, that's not something she knew, from the jump. Like, she figured that out through therapy. So then now with that new presented information, now she's like, all right, this is what I feel like is best so that I can be a better partner too. And I feel like it was for her, but then also I think it said like for her to be a better girlfriend, like not just looking at this is the only way that I can please you is through sex. Like
I'm not getting wrong. Yeah. I understand that part. I get it. But what I'm saying is, it's a time period. It's like, okay, how long is this going to take? Personally, for me, it's just like...
Well, what if they really don't know?
That's cool. You don't got to know, you know what I mean? But that's me as a person, if I'm in that situation, I'm going to want to know how long is we going to be rocking out and being celibate. Because you made that choice for you, but at the same time, you made the choice for both of us. At the end of the day, you did. You took my decision away to even choose. That's why I feel like if the man was like, yeah, I want to leave, that's cool, because he has a choice to make. You know what I mean? This is a relationship. We talk about it. Whatever you do affects me. Whatever I do affects you. So if you want to stop doing that, that's cool, fine. Go find the best part of yourself. I support. But I also want to know for how long. Because I feel like that's also something, you made that decision for the best of you, but I'm going to suffer from it. And it's like, I love you.
I mean, why is it got to be suffering?
What you mean, bro?
Like, why is it got to be suffering? Like, if you care about that person and that's what they're doing, not just for them, but for the relationship as well, like, wouldn't the focus be more on them bettering themselves than what you're lacking in that moment?
Do you not still feel the urge? Do you not still go through the suffering of not doing that?
I mean, but I feel like my focus is more on the fact that you're doing what you need to do for you.
What you're focused on is cool, but that doesn't take away from what I said, though.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at it as suffering. Suffering is crazy.
Shit. Shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, like I said, like it depends on. For me personally, it depends on how much time. Cause like if you're like, yeah, I need. It might take a couple months. Now check it out.
Mm-hmm.
If she look at me, I don't know. It might take a couple months. We reach a couple months. I think I still need some more time. I'm not gonna be like, nah, fuck you. I'm out of here. No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's also like if you're looking at me and being like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be 3 years. For me to stick with it, like you said, I have to already be at that point where like you're everything I need and more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I think maybe that's just me. Like I feel like I agree with that part. I think because if you're on at that point, then it's like nah. I don't got no issue with that. Like I just like I said, like I can see both sides. I think I'm just more on the side that like I'm at the point where it's like, do I enjoy intercourse? Come on now, like I just being real, you know. But I think more so like and I think because I've been at that point, and even me, like I was at a point where I was like, maybe I might want to wait till marriage to do that, and for our relationship. And the young lady, she was like, I don't know how comfortable I feel with that. Understandably so. I think I finished giving you this horse dick. You know what I mean? I see why you don't want to get that up so quick. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, though, bro, it's like depending on the situation. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I would have been supportive, but I also would have communicated how I feel and my needs.
I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't think that's the issue. I think that's cool. I don't see no issue with that at all.
Like, as we go, right? You're doing this for you, but at the end of the day, this relationship is not just for you. Yes, you're doing this for you, and at the end, it's like it can be better for me. Okay, you're a better person. You're treating me better. You know, you're doing things that are not just sexual. You know what I mean? Like having that intimacy that is not sexual is a very big thing in the relationship. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you know what I mean? As we go through this time period, this whatever, you know what I mean? There's still needs and wants that has to be taken care of or at least considered. You know what I mean? So as time goes on, I'm not gonna lie, babe. I got the urge. I wanna throw that thing down. You know what I mean? I feel like it's only natural to just tell your partner how you feel.
I mean, yeah, I understand. I think I focus more on the fact that, like, I feel like in that moment, she's focusing on her and not our relationship, but it's not really, like, I don't think it's one of those things where she's being super selfish.
Nah,
like,
bro, I never said she would be.
No, I'm just saying in the fact that from my point that I was ready to say was, like, because I feel like in relationships, like, you look out for me and I look out for you and we got each other's back. Like, I don't got to think about what I need, you know what I mean, from you versus like what you need from me, you know, like where if I'm already trying to do that, you're already trying to do that, then in that moment, like she's not doing that thing where like she's being super selfish, you know, because, you know, but then, and so then what I was saying, so then in that moment where it's like, what I'm trying to say is like, I don't feel like she's being selfish for that, in that, what I was trying to explain. Mm-hmm. I feel like in that moment, she was just, you know, doing some work on herself, and then she figured out like, okay, she doing some work on herself, and then she felt like, okay, this is what I feel like, you know, this is what I'm trying to do for me. And then in that moment, you know, he was supportive like he was, and and you know, like you said, a lot of niggas ain't on that. Like, I remember when I was going through that with my previous significant other, and it was like, you know, he's like, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this right now. And she had niggas in her like, oh yeah, nah, he's fucking somebody else. Because they probably would have done that, you know. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, I'm not that type of nigga that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was on my grind. I'm not, and I didn't come just to fuck you. Like, you know, like that's not, you know, like we talked about that in the previous episode. Like, I didn't come in this relationship just to fuck you all the time. Like, I found somebody that I'm cool with. We just happen to also have bomb-ass sex. You know what I mean?
But my question to you would be, can you be in a relationship that does not have any sexual intimacy?
Like just intercourse or any intimacy at all?
I mean, you know, kissing's cool, like all that. But anything past that, you know what I mean?
I think so. Me at this point now, yeah. Robby last year, nigga, please.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
So, like, you really think you could go like 3, 4, 5 years And you
Well,
laid down.
I feel like if we're together that long, we should be getting married. Personally,
even in your marriage, like
if we're married, we have to talk about it. There needs to be parameters about it. If it depends on what's the reasoning.
So why is it a difference if you're married versus if you're just boyfriend and girlfriend?
Because I feel like if you're married, like, you know, like that's what y'all do in marriage. We happen to have sex outside of marriage. I don't feel like it's owed to you though. Versus being married. Like if you're married, like that's what y'all do. But if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, it happens. But like,
I feel like it's expected as well.
I mean, that's cool. It can be expected, but you're not owed that.
No, you're not owed it at all.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, are you really owed that in marriage as well?
We can get into that. I don't got I have to get some facts for you on that from like biblically speaking, but
okay.
Yeah, so I don't got it.
I'm actually genuinely curious.
Yeah, I don't got the answers for that, but yeah, I feel like that's kind of I feel like I don't know if you should say but that's what sex was for couples, married people, for real. So biblically speaking, but I'll say like so then outside that relationship, like I don't got no issue with it, because for me, like, and I might even implement this in the next relationship I get into, or if I happen to, I don't want to say that on camera, but like, you know, waiting till marriage, because I feel like you know there might be some benefits in doing that. I feel like, you know, there might be some benefits in saving ourselves for that moment. Like I'll yearn for you more, you know, for like because of that. And you know, we don't, you know, like having sex with your partner, like emotions, and it's a bunch of stuff that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
That people don't want to talk about. Like what, like I have a sense of ownership over you after that. You know what I mean? Like,
wait. A sense of ownership over you after what?
After we have sex. Are you mine? What the fuck? Yo. Like if I'm just fucking somebody, like I don't really got, but like we in a relationship, like we spending all this time, and then you lay that thing on me. Oh, where you thought you was going? Where that location? What you thought?
Bro, you're stupid.
For real? What you thought this was? You thought you just gonna put that thing on me and that's it?
Man, I don't know, bro. I said I got the ring.
I don't got one, but like, what you thought it was? And then vice versa, how many times you see a girl like, oh, no, you mine now? Lay down that thing. They'll be like, you put that thing on her, like.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was like, even before, like, I put that thing on her, bro. Like, it was like, emotionally, you feel me? Like, you got me, like, this deep in the movie. You ain't going nowhere. Like,
true. But it's different, though. After that, man, after you put that thing, like, I'm not saying, no, I'm not trying to take away from the emotion, because I felt that too. But then once y'all had, like, bro, like, what?
I mean, for me, it's probably, I understand what you're saying, but for me, I was already feeling like, you know, like we locked in. You're not going nowhere, you feel me? I'm yours, you are mine. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it could, like, intensify the feeling, but at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie, bro, shawty had me.
Yeah, but there's something chemically, man. Like, y'all swapping body fluids at that point, bro. Like it's something chemically that, like, you know how, like, you sleep with somebody, and, like, if you with your significant other, like, y'all lay down and it's easier for you to go to sleep with that person than it is by yourself. Like, there's a chemical reaction that happens, like, that's released when you're around that person, that now you just feel so calm and relaxed that you can go to sleep like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's scientifically proven, like, that's what happens when you're with that person, like, you know. So it's just, you know, something about it, like. But yeah, I forgot where it was coming from, but yeah.
Well, man, I don't know. Now, personally, I feel like it also, like, varies from people's, like, you know, like you, how you, like, you low-key want to wait till marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't think I'm that type of guy. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah.
I done told shorty that. Did not mean it. Did not mean it, but that's a story for another time, I promise.
Yeah. Oh, what?
That's a story for another time.
Hold on. What?
But like real life though, yeah, I don't think personally I would be the type to wait till marriage. Now don't get me wrong, I'm okay with waiting for some time, you feel me? Like, the snook is not everything in a relationship, for sure. I'm a big romantic, you know. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like I used to be more of a romantic guy.
Right.
You know, before I got my heart broke and all this other shit. I feel like he's still in there. I still pop out and do some shit, try to be boyfriend of the year and shit.
Right.
But I don't know, bro. That simp side of me, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. I simp for sure. I do. But the way I used to simp, nah, bro. Side of pocket.
Yeah.
Side of pocket.
I feel that. I don't know. Like I said, this is the new ideology for me with the waiting for marriage, because I used to feel the same way before, but I don't know. Like, I just, maybe that's just my renewed, or like my where I'm at with my walk with God right now, like my faith and everything. Like, I just see the benefits too. Like, you know, like I've had, you know, sex with multiple women. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't necessarily say I regret it, but like, if I could do it again, I would just wait for my partner. You know, like my one. Like, I don't feel like I need to go through all them women. Like, it just wasn't necessary.
So maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe I need to get closer with God. You know what I mean, bro? Because I hear what you're saying, but nigga, fuck this. Yeah, no bad. Now, there's a couple bodies I got, bro. The only thing I would really change, bro, is some bodies that I was going through some dark times and I had no business.
Yeah, them the ones I really regret.
Yeah.
Like the one. It's a couple of them Jones. Like, I just Like, I'm no cool. Yeah, nah.
I would throw up thinking about it.
Them one night stands. I would take all them one night stands back for sure. All of them.
Shit, I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't with that.
One night stands go crazy.
It's trash to me. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, you also believe in like the soul ties, right?
Yeah.
See, I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah.
Not at all. Now, I could be wrong. Somebody could. You know what? I hope somebody shows me or tells me how.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, that's one of the questions tomorrow.
Man, because I don't believe in soul ties, bro. Get out my face. I'm not attached to you in any type of way.
This nigga Soldier, bro. He just want to be an individual ass nigga, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, I hear it, but like, I just don't agree with it. You know what I mean? One of them things, I just don't like. You know, I could be wrong, bro. You know.
Why don't you agree with it?
I just don't. You know, personally, like, they're like, okay, soul ties. I just, personally, a lot of people would be like, you know, they feel attached to that person and like X, Y, and Z. Maybe I'm just doing this shit wrong because I don't feel nothing. I don't feel attached.
You don't feel attached to your shorty?
That's my shorty. But I feel like the way I feel attached to her isn't even off of like a soul tie joint, like, or as what they say is a soul tie. Like, I feel like my heart is attached to her, like, emotionally, and that was before we even got to fucking. You know what I mean?
You don't gotta just be through fucking. But we're gonna talk about it tomorrow, though.
Shit.
Am I the asshole for asking my wife for an open relationship after 2 years without sex? Oh, that's crazy. We were just talking about that. We was just talking.
Yo.
Hold on. It feels weird to type, but next year I will be 30. I've been married since I was 22. My wife is the same age. 3 years ago, she had just beaten cervical cancer. She had surgery and she was a soldier throughout the whole process. I am very proud of her. After the surgery, we didn't have sex for obvious reasons, and I accepted that. However, she still gave me oral sex frequently. I would try to... You said what?
Compromise.
Please. I would try to please her as best I could without hurting her, but it's tough. Eventually, her sex drive disappeared completely. She just did not want to be intimate anymore. This has been going on for 2 years. She will give me oral sex on my birthday or special occasions, but that's it. I am still very attracted to my wife. I love her very much. I do not want to give up sex for the rest of my life. I have talked to her countless times, and she's just not into it anymore. It's not a pain thing, but a desire thing. I have been reading up on open relationships, basically just flings to satisfy my needs as a man while she's still living and loving my wife. She was not receptive of the idea at all, to say the least. Crying, yelling, you name it. She doesn't understand why I even ask. Even after I explain I want to grow old with her, but I don't want to be old now and give up sex. I don't even know what I could have done different in this besides just shut up and be celibate forever. Chill. Am I the asshole?
I ain't gonna lie. It's a couple things I would like to know before I really say, you know, is he the asshole?
What would you want to know?
Okay. Her sex drive disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't disappear for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did it disappear?
That's something I want to know too.
It's like, why is it like, was she feeling a way about herself? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
that,
it goes deep. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's something. Yeah.
So it's like, I want to know that, because if it's one of those things, then as her husband,
Yeah.
that nigga should have did what he was supposed to do.
Okay.
You know
see,
what I mean?
see, you read,
Yeah, bro,
you read my
like,
mind.
yeah,
You read
bro.
my mind, because my thing is, it's funny we just talk about this, but like, what I want to know is, what did you do? Like, did you exhaust all options before getting to the open relationship option?
That's crazy.
Like, did y'all see counseling for it? You know what I mean? Like, did y'all talk to a therapist? Like, did you try to, you know, figure out those things? Like, why do you feel like this? Like, is it just because of the cancer? Do you not look at yourself the same? Did she lose hair or gain weight, lose weight? Like, do you not feel like you're sexually attractive anymore? It could be all those things. Like we said, sex for women, or I don't think sex for women is like mental. You know what I mean? If they feel, if they feel ugly, if they, you know what I mean? If they stressed out, all that stuff, they not with it. It could be a whole bunch of stuff. And then, I mean, she just had cancer. That could be that's definitely probably a huge reason of why she came to that conclusion of why she didn't want to do that no more. That's one thing. Another thing could be, like I said, the physical aspect. You know what I mean? And so I definitely don't think him bringing that up helped that situation at all.
GG's, my boy.
Excuse me. Yeah, nah. Like, I think that you just put yourself in another. You said y'all been having sex for 2 years. You better not have sex for another 6 years, bro. Like, that's it. Nah, let me stop.
Take the ring off.
Chill.
Take the ring off.
For real. Like, I just want to know. I do want to know if that's his first option that he came to, or did he do all this, exhaust all these other options, and then come to that?
Yeah.
Even I wouldn't come to that. I'm not asking for an open relationship because I'm selfish myself. I'm selfish. I ain't even with no threesomes with my girl. Yeah, nah. Like you, like I said, you mine.
Don't get me wrong. I would have a threesome.
Not with my girl. Not with my girl. Nope.
I'm already too attached.
Yeah, but say I'm stagey. I don't give a fuck if it's a nigga, girl,
Yeah,
girl,
man.
nigga, girl. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You ain't touching my.
Let me find out another
You?
motherfucker pleasing my shorty.
Yeah.
Bitch, get hit with this hot dookie.
Nigga, please.
Real shit, bro. Tweaking out.
Motherfucker shit. Anyways, but yeah, so I would like to know if he exhausted all those options and really took the time. Like, if I was in that position, like, hey, look, you know what I mean? Like, I would really, you know, try to reassure her if it was something physical. Like, yeah, no, you're gorgeous. You're as gorgeous as you was, probably more now than from the day that I met you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and even, you know, counseling, you know what I mean? Therapy, all that stuff, just to get her confidence, and not even just so we can have sex, but because I want that for you as a person. I want you to feel confident in who you are. Cancer, what you got? Cancer free, one leg, two leg, one nip, two nip. You said what?
Was he doing that though?
I don't know, but that's what I would like to know. And even if yours or not, that's what I would do. That's something that I would try to do. You know what I mean? And even if she don't got cancer, like, that's something that, you know, I've had to do. And then, you know, it could be stressful. It could be a lot, you know what I mean? This, that, and the fourth. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do as your partner. You know what I mean? As the partner, like, being there for them in those moments when sometimes they can't even do it for themselves.
I mean, then again, bro, like, it says that she was giving him oral, though. You know what I mean?
She
So
get in there shut. Oh, so what you want? You better take that top. What the world?
But then
but I think he said it disappeared after a while.
Yeah, it started to, like, on birthdays and stuff like that. But it's also like, okay, if she's still willing to do that though, right? So it's like, okay, it's not that she's like turned off by this nigga, because if she was, she wouldn't want to do any of that stuff. And maybe throughout some point in time, you know what I mean, after maybe him not doing what he was supposed to be doing as a man, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And reassuring her and trying to get her to whatever point she needed to get,
Mm-hmm.
not just for fucking, you know what I mean, just as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe she started to feel some type of way now
Yeah.
about him. Still love him and shit.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, when he asked for the open relationship, she's crying and she's like, why would you even assume that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, she should have spit in his face. It's crazy. Imagine that, bro. Like, you in love with your significant other and they ask you for an open relationship. You know what that does to a motherfucker? Like,
Hey,
damn.
hold your fist here. Hold your fist here, like right here.
You're stupid.
For real. Look, that's how it would be. What you want?
Yeah, I'm so.
I show you this open relationship.
Yo, what's the bigger, bro? I'll show you open relationship.
You know, for real.
Hey, yo.
Open this.
Yeah.
For real.
Nah, she really should have did that to him.
I'm saying, like, yeah, nah, bro, you tripping.
There's certain things you could just say like that. To me, bro, to me, asking a question like that, that's just like asking, like, yeah, like, let me go fuck someone else, literally.
Yeah,
Like,
that,
let me
you
go
might as
fuck
well.
someone
You
else.
might as well. And and like, I can see people being like, so I got a question for you. Do you feel like that means he don't love her?
No, not necessarily. As I've come to notice, there's certain men who will step out in their relationship, but they still love their shorty.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, love is something that can be interchangeable. Like, the definition can be interchangeable.
You don't feel like because he asked that means that he really don't love her, like he just faking?
No, I don't feel like. I feel like he can actually genuinely have love for shorty. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Still love her, still want to be with her. But it's like, as a man, he's like, bro, I got some. You feel me? That needs to be fulfilled. I'm trying to lay down that hammer.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I'm trying to strike some lightning and thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could feel that, and like, I could understand why he felt like that was his option. I'm just saying that was stupid, my guy. No
Yeah.
back. Like that's crazy. Bro.
Yeah.
Might as well just take the ring off, bro. Damn.
My boy.
Yeah, but to answer your question though, I do feel like he could still, like, you know, genuinely love Shawty.
Mm-hmm.
I do not feel like someone stepping out on a person means that they don't love them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that niggas need to go out or bitches can go out and just cheat.
Fuck
and all
no.
that.
Y'all better not be doing that stupid ass shit. Or I'm a.
Nah, I wouldn't even say that though, cause okay. So personally, I feel like sometimes in life is tit for tat. You feel me? Sometimes in life is tit for tat. So if you was out here dragging on me and shit like that, then okay, I'm about to get active on you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't condone cheating. You feel me?
Nah, I ain't with that shit.
I really don't.
Yeah,
I'm
nah.
the type, if you want to step out or this person's not enough for you, or bro, just leave. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Why do you have to go ahead and drag this person through the mud?
Because people want to have their cake and eat it too.
Ah, selfish bitches.
That's one. And then also something that I would say is like, people are just selfish. You know what I mean? They only think about themselves in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the thought crosses your mind, but at the end, the only thing that you are really considering is you and what you want in that moment. Like you might think about the other person, you know what I mean? And you might think about how it's going to affect them, but at the end, the last choice that you make is about you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it comes down to. And that's what it really comes down to. Like you said, I don't think that doesn't mean that you don't love or care about them and that you didn't consider it. But the last thing that you considered was yourself.
No, for sure. Personal experiences, you know, I done had to tell a couple bros, like, hey, bro, ain't gonna lie, if that's what you're gonna do what you do, you feel me?
Yeah.
Take that shit on the chin, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if that's the type of person you is, bro, don't be making this facade and making up reasons and excuses. Nah, bro, if you did that shit, you did that shit.
Yeah, like you
know what I
chose.
mean?
It's a choice. It's not no people. And we're gonna talk about that in a couple episodes.
Actually, yeah, because I actually do feel like there's a certain instance where cheating could be a mistake, and we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, I do.
Yo, what's the next episode? We're gonna talk about the next episode. We're gonna talk about episode 5. Thank you for tuning in to the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. You can follow me at Robby Too Fast on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Yeah.
DNS _Soldier, Instagram, DNS Soldier 7, TikTok. You know, follow your boy.
You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram and possibly Twitter at Two Sides of the Heart. That's all I got. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Fuck that bitch.